just a little disclaimer, it can be graphic to some of you, so maybe you shouldn't watch the video and the pictures I'm gonna insert. Hi guys, this is Sibylla Mirage. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a very different topic because I'm finally going to address some of the many questions I've been getting about my tattoos. And I've been trying to avoid this topic for the longest time, but it's gotten to the point when I can't avoid it. So let's go. So I've been getting some questions about my tattoos, mainly hand tattoos. And recently I have been thinking about my body, and you know, some people are obsessed with makeup and some are obsessed with hair extensions, like I used to be. Some are obsessed with plastic surgery. And even though I've had my fair share of plastic surgery, I'm not obsessed with it. I've never been obsessed with it. I've just done whatever I felt like I needed. And then I didn't really care to do anything more. Even for Botox, you'd be surprised, I do 8 units every 5 months. Like, I literally remove one wrinkle right here, and I don't do anything in my forehead. I don't like to change the shape of my eyebrows, my eyes, any of the crow's feet, right? Is that the word? I don't do anything because once in the past I did. It was years ago, and my eyes when I was smiling couldn't move. And that freaked me out so much. I looked literally 30 years older than I was, so I never ever did that again. But I do lip injections here and there, very little amount, because I have a very conservative dermatologist who doesn't like to go overboard, and I have very big lips naturally, so she just enhances the volume but doesn't change the shape or anything. Anyway, I digress. So, it's 2 a.m. and I had a coffee. I have been to many artists. Starting from when I was back in Ukraine, I got 2 tattoos. The first one I got when I was, I think, 16, and the second one I got on my 18th birthday. So I couldn't wait, and I didn't want to tell my parents. So my very first tattoo was 2 Chinese symbols, and they were supposed to be, I don't know if that's what they mean. Guys, if I have any Chinese subscribers, please help me, because they were supposed to say Jubao, and the meaning is supposed to be like a jewel. So a piece of jewelry, like a diamond, and it's very like abstract. I felt like, oh my gosh, it's meant to be. So I got it, and it was very cute. It was thin, and he didn't wrap it or anything like that. He just gave me some kind of an ointment, and it healed really nicely. It was in the middle of winter, so I didn't sweat or anything, and the body was always covered up. There was no sun exposure, and it healed perfectly well. But over the years it faded, and I never knew that the sun fades tattoos. The first one faded, and the second one, which was the elf girl on my shoulder, faded quite a bit. So I decided to remove them and prepare my back for something special. I don't know what yet, but I feel like I want something maybe like Victoria Beckham, or maybe something like Angelina Jolie has. I know what kind of little tattoos I want to get and what they will be. But anyway, long story short, I wanted to remove the back tattoos, and I wanted to remove 2 of my finger tattoos, because for finger tattoos, it's not that easy. Finger tattoos are not as easy as they seem. They're like single needle, simple, beautiful. They don't have to be single needle, but they usually are very fine line and delicate, and they should heal perfectly. But that's not the case, because your finger, the skin is uneven. You have different kinds. You have fatty part, then you have bone, then you have cartilage. You have different, and veins, and it's just the skin is thin. And from my understanding, how I was explained and how it kind of stayed in my head, is that the surface is very uneven and they don't heal well because of it. And also you wash your hands a lot and you just use them a lot, so they just don't heal well, and they 99% of the time require a touch-up, or sometimes two. So when I got my very first finger tattoo, this one had 2 touch-ups and it barely made it, so I didn't wash my hands for like 3 days after each touch-up. Like, I take my tattoos, my hand tattoos, very seriously, because if they're botched, you look like a crackhead. Like, they just look like you've been to prison. If they're on your hands, make sure they're not botched. And make sure you touch them up from time to time, because I saw this picture of Ariana Grande's hand tattoos and I couldn't believe, first I thought that was fake. I could not believe that was her hand. They looked really, really bad. Anyway, so I got this one done 3 times, then I got these dots done 2 times. This one, on the inside, I have air sign, like air symbol, element air. So it didn't stay because it's just, and this one was touched up 4 times. I went to different artists and I tried different techniques, well, not techniques, but different artists, like more experienced, less experienced, did the touch up for this one and it didn't stay. So I decided to let it go. And then this crown and then this star and the moon, they were done by somebody who has like 4-year experience, and he did an amazing job. So when he did my tattoos, he was like on a pricier side. So I did not wash my hands for 3 days and I made sure to keep the sticker on. So sometimes they don't even put the sticker on your hands because it doesn't stay. But he put the sticker on and he gave me some extra to take home. So whenever I felt like the sticker was lifting, I would put another sticker on top and I would just make sure that it doesn't move the color, like the ink. So when the time came to remove the sticker from these 3, and I did it, I saw the ink actually being embedded deep within my skin. I knew they were gonna heal perfectly. Like, they do require a touch-up, I feel like, but it's not necessary. It's not like, oh my gosh, I need to go right now because they look like you can't understand what they are. And usually that's what hand tattoos end up being like. I'm weird, but I use flashlight, I shine on my skin and I see where the ink is. So I kind of saw the ink being inside, so I knew it was gonna heal perfectly fine. Way better than the other ones. So my advice to you, the biggest advice, something you can take away from this video, aside from me just talking, if you want a single needle tattoo, go to somebody who specializes in that style of tattoos. That was my mistake. When I went to get the palm tree and the Gemini sign, they've been lasered out. So I decided to laser them out with Picoway laser that I did. Well, I did a lot of research. I did my homework and I found out that Picoway laser leaves the healthy skin cells intact, doesn't attack them, and only goes after the ink, the dark spots, and it's the one that requires the least amount of sessions and does the least amount of damage to your skin. You still cannot, you know, go out in the sun, but yeah, it bruises your skin. It's pretty severe, but it doesn't use heat. It uses light. If you want to laser out any of your tattoos, just make sure you research Picoway laser, because Picoway is the one that doesn't scar your skin. And if you get a scar, for example, if you want to laser out a sleeve and then you want to get another sleeve, but you go for a different laser that uses heat, it will scar you. And if your skin scars, it produces lots of collagen. And when your skin has a lot of scarring in it, it's not gonna hold on to ink. So if you want to cover a scar with ink, with another tattoo, it doesn't stay as well as if you were to tattoo brand new skin. So if you want to tattoo on top of the spot that you have a tattoo and you don't want to do a cover-up, if it's not your style or if you want to get something else, then just go for Picoway and then tattoo on that same spot, because I was assured time and time again that it's not gonna scar and I can tattoo on that same spot because the ink is gonna stay. But I'm not gonna do that. So once the tattoos from my back are gone, I am not gonna touch those spots. I'm just gonna let them heal and breathe, and I'm just gonna be kind to my body, and I'm gonna do something else in a different spot because I'm not trying to do my whole back or my whole arms. Like, it makes no sense to me. It's not my style, and it would probably be cheaper to cover up my tattoos, but they're not, it's just not my style to have something, it would require me to put a bigger, bolder, darker piece on top. And that's just not my style. I feel like if you want something, you can't use an old canvas with like a painting on it that has faded and paint something new on top and have it not jeopardize the quality of your new painting, if that makes sense. I'm obsessed with Inkmaster. Like, I don't know how. Like, I knew about this show, but then I wasn't really into it, and then I really got into it, and then I have a few favorites from that show. And if I'm lucky, if God blesses me, then I'm gonna get tattoos from one of the contestants from the show. I'm not gonna say anymore, because what if, like, I don't know, I'm not lucky enough to get an appointment or something. There are lots of things that can go wrong, or he might be traveling. I don't know. But if I get an appointment, I'm gonna let you know. And oh my gosh, that would be like my dream come true, because I'm like obsessed with his work. He's like Dali and Beksinski, but like on mushrooms and like modern, if it makes any sense to any of you. But like he's just really good at what he does, and I'm more into like cartoony style, and I want to experiment with color, and I've never done color on my body, so I feel like he would be the guy to go to. So that's kind of what I want. I'm not really into traditional style tattoos, even though they heal. I feel like they heal the best and they stand the test of time. But for me, I just want something different, something out there. And I feel like if it's not the best artist I can get, then I don't want anything at all. So I am keeping the tattoos that I'm absolutely in love with, and I'm lasering out the ones that didn't heal well or weren't done by professional artists. Like, they're done by professional, obviously, artists, but they don't have enough experience. So the ones I've spent a lot of time and energy on, I'm gonna keep, and the ones that were done by the tattoo artist I worked recently with, the guy who has like 4-year experience, I'm gonna keep, and then the girl who did my 2 cartoon characters, she's so amazing. She has less experience, but she did a very good job, and I feel like even if they don't heal well, like, I don't know, in a year, if I see anything wrong with them, it's very easy to like go in and fix them, or like, you know, just touch them up, because they're very fine line, and that's kind of what I'm going for. So I'm gonna insert before and after, and probably some footage if it's not too, like, guys, just a little disclaimer, it can be graphic to some of you, so maybe you shouldn't watch the video and the pictures I'm gonna insert, because the pictures right after, they're not as bad as the pictures 3 days after, because that's when you can see the bruising and the bruise kind of spreading. So how Picoway works, it's it breaks down the ink, and then your blood kind of circulates the ink out of the spot. So you don't see the result right away. Sometimes you do if the tattoo is really old, but you need to give it time. You need to give it 6 weeks between sessions. But I could already tell that the shoulder, the elf girl that was exposed to the sun for so many years has been pretty much removed. Like, it's faded so much, and I can see the result in 3 days. And the palm tree on my finger is almost gone. The artist who did it has tons of experience, but he doesn't specialize excuse me, in single needle tattoos. So he kind of had no idea what he was doing, and the tattoo lifted and was gone within the first 2 days. Then I touched it up, but because it wasn't done properly the first time, I touched it up with somebody else, and it faded the same way. I felt like he scarred me too much, and the ink didn't want to stay. So hand tattoos, like, you know, I feel like hand tattoos and face tattoos are the most important, because it's like, it's so visible. Like, every time I get my nails done, people compliment on my nails. They pay attention to my nails. And they definitely pay attention to my tattoos. And if I get compliments on my nails but not on my tattoos, I feel like, oh my gosh, what the hell is wrong with my tattoos? And I right away want to fix them, or I want to get something different or fix the ones that don't look as good. So 2 of my finger tattoos and then 1 from the inside of my pinky are gone pretty much. So each tattoo requires a different amount of sessions because some are darker, some are more faded, so it depends. And I'm gonna see as I go. So for the shoulder one, I was told maybe a couple more sessions and that's it. So 3 sessions in total, which is insane. Usually it takes 8 to 12 sessions to remove a tattoo, even with Picoway, but that one was really faded and like kind of old. My conclusion is that I'm only keeping what I really love on my body because I feel like my body deserves the best. And if you have tattoos that you're not 100% happy with, you know, it's not the end of the world. There's technology now that can help you get rid of them in an almost painless way. Like when I got my laser, they froze my skin with like little ice packs. They blew cold air on my skin. So it was bearable, but it was kind of like, you know, like laser hair removal, kind of, if you had that done. So thank you very much for watching. If you found this video interesting or helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye guys.